Okay, well, I have 1:30, so we'll get it started here. I'm going to call the Tuesday, August 26th, 2025 Facilities Committee meeting of the Keystone Central School Board to order. We have a fairly short agenda, but I'm sure there's a lot of lively discussion that'll ensue from this. So the first item that we need to look at and discuss a bit is the ongoing sewer system issue over at the middle school and in Mill Elementary and I guess here. But the main issue's been over in the middle school, I believe.
Yeah, so it was requested to have us on our next facilities committee meeting. Wanted to inform everybody that we did have the grease traps cleaned at all three schools back in June. There continues to be some miscommunication or misunderstanding maybe with Mill Hall Borough. They served us a letter, is with our solicitor, and it holds us accountable for rags and grease in the sewer system still. When we had this work done, I had Robinson Septic Company out of Bellefonte. They came in and did it. They said all three locations, our grease traps, were in good working order, right, and fairly clean for what they normally see. So I don't know what else to say on the grease trap matter. We can continue monitoring it and we'll do our maintenance, once or twice a year if we have to. But that was in June after a full school year of cooking inside the buildings, and they said they looked really good.
So I guess I would conclude from that the grease wasn't the problem. If they feel they were fairly clean, I mean, I don't know what else to conclude from what you found, what they found when they checked it out.
All three kitchens are shut down throughout the summer as well. So.
And didn't Mill Hall Borough say a couple weeks ago that they were still having problems or something, that something was still going on with
grease? Yeah.
And we're not even using the kitchens at this time.
And that's what Bonneville Township said as well. They've had issues throughout the summer, but we haven't had any cafeteria in operation, and we had our grease traps clean. So I don't know where the grease is all coming from, but it certainly can't be from us.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they want to make us the bad guys here. I don't know what their ultimate goal is, but there's no way they can blame us for what's going on over the summer because we aren't putting anything down there. I mean,
from my perspective, that's where I'm at. I would like to know what the end goal is so we can move forward with life.
So we've made a response to their letter. We had David Lindsay just draft a letter that their letter to us was asking for some kind of response about what we're doing about it. So we gave them the maintenance schedule. We told them what we had done. And that was last week when we sent that. We hadn't heard anything back from them. So we have responded to their request for our action plan.
Okay, so we can sort of say right now, it's a clean slate.
It's as clean as we can get it.
So then we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thanks for all the efforts. It's really, really great.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much at that point. I don't think there's too much else we can do. Monitor it, see what happens. So, all right, moving on. The Family Consumer Science Room here in this building. I see we have Hoffman Leakey, who I'm familiar with some work they did at the IU. They're the ones that are going to do the engineering for this.
Yes. So when we first approved this project, you guys had asked for updates throughout on who we picked for what part of the construction piece. And right now, the only thing that we've engaged anybody with was Hoffman Leakey on the engineering side of it. We gave them all the drawings that the amazing students did last year throughout the school year. And we're using that as our template for building out this room. I met with 2 engineers last week and they were on site here. We walked through the space. We provided electronic drawings that we had from the original build of the school. And they said it would take about 4 weeks to put together the final drawings and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
So when you get the final drawings back, then will that be a different estimate or is that,
No, that's what we'll use to go find a contractor
okay, great.
for the bidding process.
All right, that's exciting. And if everything goes smoothly, do you think it'll be something like over the holidays that they'll do the construction or next summer or just a gross
So-
estimate?
We're gonna do the demolition part of it in-house and my folks will do that either before school hours or after, or, you know, holidays or whatever, when the students
Sure.
start in the building.
Mhm.
We don't want to disrupt anything with the students, but our folks will demo it and then same goes with the build. There's not going to be a lot of structural changes to anything.
Mhm, right.
So most of it will just be moving equipment in and out and putting in place. Our hopes are definitely to have this done before the holidays.
Wow, okay,
That'd be great.
great. I can't wait to see it.
Me too.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 3, the maintenance plan for this school year, 25-26. And Sam has a whole list of things here that we still have yet to tackle.
So what I did, this was also requested to be on here and I think it's good to go through at least once a year. For the 25-26 school year, these were the projects that Joni and I sat down and said we could get these done and we could have the funding for them. There's a few on here that weren't completely funded because we weren't sure how much money we would have going into the capital season, but what I listed were things that were still outstanding. Some of them have already been approved and the work is in progress. Others are new things yet that we have to get approved through the board. So I'll go down through the list and I put a little caveat in here that, you know, as always, emergencies might arise and it'll take precedence over something.
Oh, that never happens. Sam.
When you go through the list, would you please say which ones are already funded and which ones are not funded? That's would be really helpful.
Yes.
Okay, super
I
terrific.
think
So the first one, Bucktail, the sports complex water supply. That one has not been officially funded, but it is one that we talked about last November.
The year before.
And it was, the water authority up there was gonna do it for us.
Yeah,
They have since changed their mind. They are not gonna do it for us. I had requested a quote from them to do the work. And the last time I spoke with them, there's a plan in Renova, I guess, where they're gonna combine the sewer water authorities between some of the municipalities. So we came up with an idea in-house here that rather than deal with the water authority and be limited on how much water you could use or not, our sports complex here at the middle school is, the water source for that is a well. So I am
I mean, at Bucktown.
no,
Here.
here
Oh, at the high school.
at the middle school and elementary school over there where the track is in
Mill
McGill
Hall.
Field.
Oh, okay, in Mill Hall, okay. So we're
Yes,
bouncing
so
back.
here in Mill Hall,
Yeah.
we use a well
Mhm.
and a pump system.
For the
Therefore, it
fields.
doesn't interfere with the local water source,
And if I can clarify, this is for non-potable water they're using for
field only,
field only. Yeah,
Yes.
Just to make sure we're clear on that.
not drinking water.
Yeah.
So, I think the
Good
best way for
clarification.
us to move forward with this and not interfere with anything in the water authority of Renova and municipalities is if we drill a well, which won't have to be very deep because
They're right by the
they're
river.
right by the river. If we drill a well, put a little shed there like we have at McGill Field with the water pump system in it, I think that is the best way to move forward. So I have many, many pictures to come within the next month here on our current operation and then where we would like to go. I guess this is well drilling season because I've made a few phone calls and not gotten many responses. But, and there's not very many people around that drill
Yeah.
wells
You mean
anymore.
Jersey, yeah, you meant Jersey Shore, like Cole County, and yeah, it's,
So that is one that is not funded yet, but we've definitely talked about it in most of my time here so far.
So
Uh,
this dollar figure is what you think it's gonna cost for the well
For a well is gonna be anywhere from probably $6,000 to $8,000. A shed, you might have another $5,000 into that. The water piping, 2-inch hydrant, frost-free hydrant to be outside. You could be up to 25.
Will we have to do a permit that will allow us a certain number of yards of water per year or whatever? If we have our own well,
No,
okay,
I think he's talking about the Susquehanna, Water Basin Authority,
yeah,
water withdrawals. It wouldn't hurt to,
right, but I'm saying if you have your own private well, then you're not, if you're taking water from the river,
Mhm.
100% you need.
okay.
But a
Because
well, this-
where I was before, the school district was required to. We had one well that was potable, one well that was non-potable, we still had to have a permit for drawing a certain number of yards of water out of the water table.
it wouldn't hurt to ask,
No,
yeah. So I have a quick question. This all started with the fact that the kids don't have drinking water on the field. So,
no. It started with, they use about 25,000 gallons of
Well,
water a
that
day
was-
to water the field.
right, so the idea was so that is there still gonna be a water source there, so when the kids are practicing or whatever, they can drink besides bottles?
No. If we drill a well, it's gonna be non-potable water.
No, of course, but is there any, so there's no way then, so then we have to table that the kids won't have water at the field then for drinking or anything?
Not unless you still tap into the city sewer or city water
Water.
line.
which would be another expense.
Yeah, that's the thing, because we bought all the equipment and everything. We had it all, and Rob, the former facilities supervisor, for some reason didn't get to it, but it was all set up, ready to go. So we have all the stuff.
We have the necessary stuff to tap into the city line.
Okay,
And the city right now, they're gonna all merge. And they are very concerned about how much water we were gonna draw from there
well,
to
right,
water the fields.
yeah, it's illogical to use potable water for irrigation when you have
Mhm.
a secondary source. So I think we all agree about that, okay? Don't waste treated water to irrigate a field.
Right.
Okay, so that's a confirmed issue. I think we're all good with this. But if we've already purchased all the equipment and everything and the kids to have running potable water for the students out there, if we bought everything already, I mean, I know it sounds really simplistic, so
Mhm.
bear with me. Just digging a frost line trench, running the water line from the building to wherever. I mean, is that even a plausible idea?
It would be cheaper to find the line that they looked for last November. And tap in out at the field
Okay,
than to drill or to dig a line all the way back to the building.
Did they ever find it?
No, they never found it. They dug a huge hole out behind the tennis courts. And it was not where they thought the water line was. So they filled it back in and walked
I
away
find-
and haven't done another thing with it.
I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't have maps or something that would show where the water line is. I mean.
I don't have an
Are we
answer for
in
that.
Mayberry or somewhere here? I mean, it's like,
I do not have an
Jeez.
answer for why this water authority could not find their water line.
that's pretty bizarre.
Well, I don't wanna lose this concept for the kids not having water out there,
Right.
so, and I realize if you have other priorities, okay, but. If there is a water line out there and we can get potable water to the fields,
Mhm.
for people to drink or wash up or. We have all the equipment, so just keep it on the back burner.
Oh, definitely. We, like you said, we have a shed full of equipment in Renova waiting to do this. I was not anticipating the fact that those water authorities were gonna combine and there was any concern whatsoever about how much water we were gonna pull from.
Well, now that they know that the board, once the board agrees, or, well, I'm sorry, once the full board discusses this and they find value in the well, would it be reasonable for you, Dr. Redmond, Sam, combine, recontacting the authority, say, look, we just need water for the kids. Okay, that's all we're
easy.
looking at.
We just have to pay to hook up to it.
Okay,
They are not gonna dig it for us anymore,
okay,
like the original plan.
all right. But trenching, you have all the equipment to trench and everything, so,
Yeah, I would just have to get a contractor to dig a hole and hook it all up.
okay, so keep that on the back burner when you can find out what they say to us, that would be great.
Yeah, there won't be any problem at all with just putting a potable water line in for folks to drink.
Yeah, that would be huge,
It's just a matter of paying the contractor.
okay.
But where are we running it from, though? Where
Oh, they're
would
gonna
that-
have to find their line.
That's their, they own it, that's
Yeah,
their
they own
job,
the water line.
that's
But
their
they don't
job.
seem to be in any hurry to do that, though. That's
That
my point.
Alan Euler that I hooked you up with before,
A what?
Alan Euler,
Mhm.
he has a drone that will find underground water lines. Loganton Borough used him to find some lines. We didn't know where they were.
Mhm.
And he actually has a drone that has infrared and he can go along and say, "Oop, there it is." And
Yeah.
he's pretty well dead on.
There's some other options here in town too. It was just, we were relying on the
I
Renova Water
understand.
Authority to do this, and it
Well,
didn't work out. So now we will step in and take charge of putting in a water line.
Yeah, water for the kids is pretty important,
Yeah.
pretty important.
Yeah.
Super, that's very interesting, thank you.
All right, moving on. Chiller replacement here. We've been
So
talking about
that
this
has already
for-
been approved for the high school. It's just a long lead time item, and I believe we were looking at an October timeframe. And plan to do the work through the cooler months, so we don't have to rely on the chilled water as much. And once the equipment gets here, we'll put together a schedule to do the work, but that's already approved. The 200,000 for the FCS classroom already approved, and I told you where we were with the engineering firm.
Sam?
Yep.
Would you be so kind, the acronym for FCS, please?
Family and Consumer Science.
Thank you.
The next one is hot on the list for tennis coaches, athletic director. They've been renting a porta potty for the tennis courts for 25 plus years. So we could have paid to put a bathroom in the building down there.
Mhm.
Part of our deal this summer is we cut all the crazy shrubs around that building. We pressure washed it, trying to get it to look nice. As the new tennis courts went in, we put a water line in down at the tennis courts. So there is sewer and water available. It's just a matter of putting a bathroom in the building. So this is something that I think we should really consider over renting a porta potty for another however many years.
I have a
So it is not funded right now.
quick question. The building, I'll be honest with you, I've never been inside the building. So I was assuming it was built for storage and concessions and stuff like that, or,
It's there's like locker rooms
oh,
and it's nothing organized.
okay.
So
So you could use it as a blank slate and do whatever you need to do in the building, basically?
yeah, we were gonna, my plan is to build a bathroom on the back corner towards the sewer line and closest to the water line.
Sure,
And then put an outdoor access to the building. So you didn't have to go into the building and anywhere else. You could go right from the outside in.
would you be able to get away with one shared bathroom, or are you looking at two?
I was looking at one unisex bathroom.
Mhm. Yeah, that would be super terrific, cause yeah, that's been talked about for a long time.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, I think that's something that, you know, just for, people that are coming in here and just for the convenience for not just the players, but, whatever, whoever's there. I mean, I really think that's something that we should consider doing.
Yeah.
It seems it's long overdue, so.
Next one's Mill Hall. There's currently 3 rooftop units that are failed over there. We are getting quotes, so I'm not exactly sure how much that's gonna cost. I think we can get away with not replacing the whole entire unit and just replacing the condenser portion of it. 2 of the 3 were actually, causing electrical outage to the whole building because they were shorting out. So we put this at the top of our priority list, moving forward here through this school year. As soon as we get the quotes for it, I will get it on the very next board agenda. And so we can move forward. So there's quite a bit of area in Mill Hall Elementary that is not getting the proper heating and cooling right now.
That's what, when the teachers were there over the summer, I was walking my dogs and they all commented that it's, my God, it's cooler outside than it is in the building. I was like, uh-oh,
Yes.
Sam's gonna have a report for us.
Yeah.
I don't remember, when I first started, that's when they were redoing the roofs on the middle school in Mill Hall. I don't ever recall when the last time the roof was done at the Mill Hall Elementary. I don't remember. Is that roof still in good shape or?
Yes, we still have some years on that.
Okay, okay.
And then I have on here Woodward. That was a number that was on our 10-year plan from previous years. I'm trying to get verification. Actually, McClure and one of the local contractors are providing quotes for that. I should have in the next week or 2. I just don't have them yet. Just to see if that 950 is a real number or not. But that is not anything that we approved
Mm-hmm.
as of right now. It was on there and Joni and I didn't know where the numbers came from, so.
Mm-hmm.
But at Woodward Elementary, they have 7 or 8 units that are failed and most of their classrooms are operating off of
Portables?
window unit portable
Yeah.
heating cooling systems.
So the ones you had at Liberty Curtain, you could just move over there.
Right.
Well, that was handy. I'm just curious. I mean, I have a contractor working at my house right now and he told me about prices. How have you seen any major shift compared to last year for these big ticket items yet?
So the anything electrical and HVAC is electrical still very long lead time. HVAC may be getting a little better,
Okay,
but like our 3 rooftop units for the high school gym, we ordered those back in the spring and they just showed up yesterday. So we'll be lifting them onto the building here this week. But it took until yesterday to get them here in town.
and the price you paid for is stayed the same though, cause.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cause when you bought it, you bought it.
Right.
Huh,
The PSO pole barn, that was on there from previous years. We have not approved of funding for that. It was at 800,000. Joni and I are pretty confident that using somebody local, we can get it at 400 or less. But the main purpose for that is we have no storage under roof for
equipment.
baseball dirt, equipment, salt, any of that.
Mm-hmm,
So all of our equipment that we own sits out in the,
and it's rusting.
right.
Yeah, I see it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
walk
I
away.
was the one actually, not to put more stress on you, but I brought this up. I don't know, maybe when Rob first started, because they'd buy beautiful new Bobcats and things like that, and we need them,
Mhm.
but you see what's only been a few years.
Right, and there's, the CTC has been letting us use the shed for the last few years. But as they grow down there and add more equipment, they need more space.
Yep.
The request has been in to regain that space
Mhm.
entirely for the CTC. So,
Well,
I figure this is something that we need to be serious about here.
a little back history, I can't say if this was 3 years ago or 4 years ago, when this whole pole barn thing first started, the equipment. I mentioned to Rob at that time, if the pole barn was built so CTC could utilize some of it for something, whether it's storing, I don't know what it is, whatever you folks
Mhm.
decide. Would there be some sort of cost advantage to that if part of it was dedicated to CTC?
The main thing that I could see them putting in there is, their milling machine for lumber. It's currently sitting up by the softball field
Yeah,
behind the stadium. And, they do have a makeshift little canopy for
Yeah.
it, but that would be something we could definitely house over there. It would just be a matter of transporting students back and forth.
we have vans or whatever.
There's
But
no place over here to actually, we don't really have a lot of room to put a pole barn over here anywhere.
No. Just please keep that back in your mind, because
Right.
if there is a funding source that they can find to help offset some of this cost,
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
Or whatever that you folks decide they need. Thank you.
Warehouse roof, that has been approved. That purchase order, I believe, just went out within the last week. Um,
May I say something?
yes,
This is up behind the elementary school.
Yeah,
That warehouse.
that warehouse.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Um,
where all our food and supplies are for the schools.
Right, right. This went back, if you could just keep this in the back of your mind. If the roof is strong enough structurally to hold solar panels someday,
Oh, yeah, we looked at,
remember? Okay, so that's all my comments.
next one, District Concrete. We had $200,000 annually is what has kind of been budgeted for concrete around the district. We spent about $76,000 over at the middle school, which that project, the final pour was today. So we have about 124,000 remaining. And we did get a letter from Millhall Borough that there's some sidewalk work that needs to be completed over by the playground. And that wasn't something we were originally planning to do this year. But we have 1 year from the date of the letter to get that work done. So Renova will have to wait again.
I've noticed this in Mill Hall with the engineer that they hired to go around. When they say the sidewalk, some of the residents had to replace all of their sidewalks,
Mhm.
some of them just one section. So I don't know, did they stipulate that in the letter? Cause I mean, a lot of the sidewalk to me looks, I use it every day. It looks, except there's one or two that are sort of wonky.
There was, they notated in the letter that there was 4 sections, basically 4 foot by 4 foot, that were required to be replaced
Okay,
in a certain area. And then it
Is
was,
that what the picture is? I'm assuming that.
yes. But there's a couple additional that are in the same shape or worse. So I don't know why it wasn't all of them. It was just that section, but if we bring a contractor in to do concrete work there, I'm certainly gonna replace all of them that are broken.
Yeah.
yeah,
So. And then here I put the total, dollar amount to everything that we have remaining for this school year, fiscal year is on there. 964,000 we've already approved. And, a couple of the bigger ticket items, we don't have actual quotes on. Those were just some numbers that were pulled off of the 10-year plan from previous years. So I don't think it would be 2.369 million. I think that we could get it down quite a bit less than that, but I just wanted to be transparent in what we have out there for the 10-year plan.
These are your priorities these are the priorities?
Yes, this is our top of the list for the remaining part of this year.
Okay.
And just to throw it out there, on the idea of funding with the state of our budget right now, pulling it, and I'm totally with you on it's not gonna be $2.37 million. But worst case scenario, if it is, that's 1.4 million and change that we don't have budgeted, that we would have to unallocate somewhere else. We can't add this onto our budget because we just don't have any capacity to do that. So as you think about what we're gonna actually accomplish in terms of some of these other projects, some of which are necessary, that means we have to not do some other things.
Oh, that's-
So do we have any funding? Have we exhausted everything that we've set aside for these projects? I guess that's a question for Joni. I know that didn't we set aside like,
Right, the 964,000 is money that we've already sat
right,
down and.
that's what I thought. So
Yeah.
is that money totally gone now? I mean, is there anything left from what we had earmarked for that, for these projects?
Oh,
There was some.
There was and then I think then we went through and decided to a couple of smaller ones.
Right.
That was already on the list. So what I would say is, yes, it's gone. So if anything additional, we would have to figure out where the money would come from or not do something else that's on the 10-year.
So the 964, which we've already used, that's it.
Yes,
And anything above that for these HVAC units or
Yes.
whatever
correct.
is going to have to come out of
Correct.
some
This
other
is-
source.
I think this is just Sam's list saying, hey, here's some things that are out here on your radar.
Right,
Mhm.
Now
right.
we have to kind of go back to finance and the 10-year plan and go, okay, here's what we'll propose out of this list. What do you think about? What it would,
Well, it sounds to me like and I know we're going to move on to those HVAC units here in the next couple items. But it seems to me like that would be probably your highest priority.
I think we're
By
waiting to see
far.
what the numbers would
Well,
come back. And
Absolutely.
Right.
then sit down with facilities and finance and go, okay, here's the number. Let's look what we have on even next year's list
Yeah.
Sure.
and this year's list and see what we can,
No, that
that's kind
makes,
of like the next steps.
yeah, that makes
Yeah.
total sense. I mean,
Yeah.
because you can't really, until you know some solid figures,
Right.
what we can do and we can't do. So,
Guys,
Yep.
I didn't sit here. So when you write the total, 2,369,000, that's the total of all of these items here?
All of them, yes.
Okay, okay.
what would best case scenario be in your guess? I mean, in just a guesstimate.
I would fix Woodward as they fail, instead of a wholesale $1 million worth of HVAC units. And we can do individual room by room with a heat pump unit. Similar to what just went into Liberty Curtain, how each classroom has its own heat pump unit.
and we have a temporary solution with the portable units, which work. They're noisy and expensive, the noise being kind of the biggest impact to student learning in there. But so we can kind of control the climate in the classroom. It's not perfect and big temperature swings go beyond what those things are capable of.
Mhm.
But it's not quite at the emergency situation at Woodward yet.
So at Woodward, we're basically concerned with the cooling. Or is that both?
Both.
Well, that's what I'm concerned about, because cooling is, as long as the humidity is down in the room and it's, within a reasonable temperature, people can survive and function fine. But it's the heating. That's the one that I'm concerned about, to be honest with you.
So
Because if we get a dip in January, February, what's the fallback plan if they fail?
So we have plenty of spare portable HVAC units, and they are heating and cooling they do 14,000 BTU of cooling and 11,000 BTU of heating.
For each, wow,
Yes.
And you're talking
So that's
about,
like about 1,000, not even 750 square feet capacity.
Yeah, they're,
okay.
right now we're using one in each classroom.
Well,
So if it got bad, we could
so are
put
they
two.
the same ones you had at Liberty Curtain, or are they just ones there are like the ones?
We already had the similar, exact same unit in place at Woodward. So we kept a bunch of spares.
okay, so, I mean, that makes us feel a lot better knowing that, you know. Okay, I'm fine, even if it has to get pulled until next year or the year after, as long as those portables are working and it's safe in there and the kids are comfortable and the teachers are comfortable. I mean,
Sounds-
I hate to sound so, you know, but there are still schools, we didn't get air conditioning in our schools here. You know, that happened after I started. So there's schools out there that don't even have air conditioning
Mhm.
still. I mean, we're talking public education schools. They don't even have air conditioning. So we trust you, Sam. If you say that these are gonna keep the kids comfy, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I have no problem with,
Well, I think that's a
You know.
good short-term fix.
Yeah.
With over the next year or
Yeah.
two.
yeah,
I'm more concerned with Mill Hall because they have a different kind of system over there,
Right.
correct?
that's where I think Jeff is absolutely, yeah, that's,
So the way that I'm getting all this priced out is per unit. That way, if we do have money to do 3 classrooms this year at Woodward, we could do that.
Right.
But like you said, we get into the next couple here. These are my biggest priorities right now heading into fall of 25.
mhm.
These are the things that I need, you know, to pay extra attention to and get things moving. So I will get, you know, all of this HVAC work is coming to us and as, you know, per unit quote, so that we have flexibility to do it piecemeal rather than, you know, wholesale $1 million this year that we don't have.
And they'll all fail at the same time after we're gone. Now if we compare Mill Hall to Woodward, does the Mill Hall Elementary, just like you explained, you know, for
Right.
Woodward, they're working and that will be adequate for right now. Would the Mill Hall School have something similar as a fallback for heating?
We have some that, we actually have, I think, 2 of them in place right now in a classroom in Mill Hall.
Unless those, yeah.
But you see it on that far end towards the track.
Mm-hmm,
But Mill Hall is our highest priority
Okay.
issue right now that we are not planning, you know, we didn't have a plan for.
Part of the issue with the way Mill Hall is laid out is you have lots of rooms that are interior that don't have an exterior wall
Yeah.
or window.
it's,
And
yeah,
these mobile units need to have an exterior
Yeah.
wall to
That was,
to
Fresh air.
exhaust.
and that's why I said
Exhaust.
that I know that building. and I know that,
I,
and Sam or Frank is absolutely correct. You know, there are a lot of interior
Mhm.
building or rooms in that building that you just couldn't put a unit. I mean, some of the ones on the outside could, but that's why I think it's more of a higher priority.
I know we can't fix the past, but, and I'm sorry if the architect's family is out there somewhere, but really? I'm sorry, that school, that design, I'm just, oh well. Okay, Mill Holland Elementary, that was very, very good.
Okay,
Look forward to those. You think you might get them in a couple weeks, those,
Quotes, yes.
okay,
Yeah, and my plan for Mill Hall is I don't want to replace the whole rooftop unit right now if we don't have to. If we can just replace the condenser unit and save the shell and everything else that's with it, that's my plan.
that's plan A, and then plan B is,
Right.
okay,
well, it makes lots of sense. I mean, obviously you want to do what you can do with the
Right.
least amount of costs and still have it function right. All right, well, we do have our work cut out for us here, to say the least. Well, the next 3 items here, next 2 anyway, I think we've already covered pretty
Mhm.
well. I mean, is there anything else you want to add to either of those?
No, I think we covered them pretty well.
So,
Like I said, with Woodward, we'll get the quotes and I have them coming as per unit, and we'll see, you know, Joni and I, if there's money we can get somewhere to start replacing them one by one, we will. If not, we will, you know, use all our resources with Mill Hall and go from there.
it'll be interesting to see what you find, what comes back, so.
Hmm.
And I think you already talked about number 3 there too, pretty much, the concrete work at Mill Hall.
Yes.
Anything else you want to add to that?
No, we're planning on doing that section there on the far
Looks
end.
great,
Yeah.
looks
All right.
great, you did a great job. RC Bowman.
Okay, well, that's all that's on the agenda unless. More, what else?
I have some good news.
That's good. What's your good news?
I'm not sure if I can mention the company that was doing some sidewalk work in Mill Hall, but the name of the business, but I will say this. They had 3 new individuals working with them. All 3 of them came from Central Mountain High School, and all 3 of them went through the CTC program. And I talked to the owner, and he said one of them has been with him for a few years. He graduated a little while ago. The other 2 are fairly new graduates. And he couldn't speak highly enough of them. So when you see Kurt Lynch and that team, please let him know that, you know, 3 of his students working for a local company, and they're learning the trade right there.
Mhm.
It was really a great thing to see.
And that's true. We put a lot of kids out into the workforce, which is the goal.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing a great job.
So maybe when you put that sidewalk out to bid or something, it'll end up being some of the CTC kids that graduated.
I couldn't be a bigger fan of what they do. My daughter's gonna do a co-op program as a senior here this year, so.
That's great.
Yeah, I think that's certainly probably one of our strongest points by far. Is
Absolutely.
that whole program down there, and we should be very proud of it. And I think and it's as witnessed by the number of kids that are getting involved with it, which is great. I mean,
Mhm.
I couldn't support it more.
So Jeff, so is it okay that, now this is just our work committee things, but when you put this on the agenda in your minutes or however you decide, so we can list what his priorities are, so it's right there in black and white. So
Okay.
however you want to explain it, so when the other board members look at it, they'll have a good summary of what we did. It would be really helpful.
Okay,
Cause it's a little overwhelming if you look at it, but once it's picked apart the
Are
way you
we-
explained it,
So are we gonna list all of these on the agenda as far as each individual thing and then have you, or just the higher priorities?
my goal would be just a higher priority,
okay,
because that extensive list shows things that are already in motion.
Right. I guess, yeah, that was,
I think it's more important to point out items that we have not secured funding for.
okay, however you wanna do it,
That
just so
are-
it's explanatory, someone
Right.
looks at it, they hear, they'll know it's just basically as much as we do.
yeah,
That'd be
what
helpful.
what I think you're saying same is correct. I mean, you just put those few items on there that we really feel that are gonna need done soon.
Right.
And then, maybe give an explanation for why
Yeah.
that's the case, and that,
Brandy and I
and the
can-
fact that we haven't assigned any funding for them.
Do you want me to list the ramp for Rob as well?
Well, it's definitely something that we need to
Okay,
look into.
okay,
If we can put in a metal ramp and it's a portion of the cost of concrete or anything else, and it meets all the code requirements, it's worth
Okay.
looking into.
That would be fantastic.
Okay. Anything else for the good of the order here?
Amazing summer.
Yep. You guys did a tremendous job with all the
So-
stuff you got accomplished.
Are they gonna allow you to take a vacation next year? I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Anyways, thank you very much. Please thank your team, okay? Because we never get to see them. And they're deeply appreciated,
Thank you.
okay?
Yep.
All right. If there's nothing else, let's say we adjourn here at 2:15.